Hi there, welcome to Urbinary, the podcast cataloging the everyday and extraordinary in the city.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Urbinary. I am Busra and today I am here with Sumaita Tahseen. Sumaita Tahseen is a landscape architect and visual artist with a primary interest in self-sufficiency and equitable architectural solutions in multifaceted landscape systems. Having earned a Bachelor of Architecture degree from Beck University and a Master of Science degree in Sustainable Architecture and Landscape Design from Politecnico di Milano. She is currently engaged in understanding future climate challenges and developing long-term collective frameworks that aim to ensure a reciprocal relationship in the Earth system. On the other hand, her personal research focuses on the topics of co-living with non-human entities, an implication of ecofeminist ideologies at the nexus of landscape architecture. Notably, she is also passionate about establishing bridges between architecture and art through her illustrations. Sumaita discusses ecofeminism perspective on the interconnectedness of women and the environment, advocating for the recognition of female knowledge in conservation efforts. She also examines the impact of patriarchal practices on floodplains in rural Bangladesh and proposes gender sensitive planning solutions to empower women and restore the land's ecological balance. Welcome, Sumaita.
Hi, thank you for having me. I am really excited to talk about it.
Yeah, we are excited about to hear from you as well.
Urbinary.
Your abstract touches on the profound concept of ecofeminism, which highlights a deep connection between femininity and the earth. Could you unpack this idea for our listeners, offering more insight into biological and philosophical underpinnings? And additionally, we would love to hear your take on the notion of the creative Anthropocene.
Yes, so ecofeminism is one of the movements that bridges academia and activism. It suggests that the way nature is the protector of all life forms, women and communities are the protector of family, culture, and tradition. And women are often associated with nurturing roles within families and communities, and nature is viewed as a nurturing force that sustains all life on Earth. So, therefore, biologically, women acquire more knowledge, basic knowledge, experience, and critical thinking due to their functions and contributions to the society. And philosophically speaking, ecofeminists believe in connecting the oppression of women with the degradation of natural world, as they think that it is the same form of modern world exploitation that ravages both. So both women and nature has been historically been oppressed and dominated by patriarchal structures, just as women have been subjugated by men in many societies. Nature has also been exploited and commodified by human societies, primarily led by these male-dominated systems. Yeah, and to talk about the creative Anthropocene, the term Anthropocene actually refers to the current geological era, which is characterized by significant human impact on the Earth's geology. The term creative Anthropocene suggests a new perspective that acknowledges the human impact on the Earth, but also emphasizes the potential for humans to creatively address these challenges, these opportunities, and present these opportunities presented by this influence. So it also suggests that when humans have undeniably altered the arts ecosystem in a significant and often detrimental ways, there is also the capacity for humans to use their creativity, innovation, and ingenuity to mitigate the negative impacts, to restore ecosystems, to create sustainable ways of living. It's actually all about recognizing both the problems and the potential solutions that arise from the human activities in this era.
So your research takes us to floodplains in rural Sylhet, Bangladesh, where women often bear the brunt of consequences. Could you paint a clearer picture of this situation, diving deeper into the specifics of what you have uncovered in this compelling case study?
Yes. So, being a delta, Bangladesh is actually highly fertile for agriculture, so it is the main source of income for many people in the rural areas of Bangladesh. In the sector of agriculture, women contribution is almost 88%, and in food production, it's 65%. But yet, on a society that is based on patrilineal kinship, women have little or no access to land. The number of women landowners in Bangladesh is only 4%. So the female labor remains completely invisible in the equation. And this way, women voices are also militarized with the denial of their potential as the environmental stewards, let's say. So women actually have an ingrained knowledge of integrate sustainable agricultural tasks. For example, they have always learned the complex method of seed saving from their ancestors. So keeping the control over seeds was the secret of their empowerment. And upon introduction of modern agricultural techniques, for example, the hybrid seeds and monoculture, women lost the power of seed, which made them more and more vulnerable, as well as they went through a process of de-skilling. So therefore, the nature has also been compromised in this case. And Bangladesh is also one of the countries which has a high prevalence rate of violence against women. So it marks them as the primary gender victims. And a continuing state of domestic violence is almost inevitable in the studied region. And it was a reflection of women's subordinate status in the society. And climate action leaders have already warned for years that these marginalized frontline communities in poor countries are already facing the most destructive impact of climate crisis. And a new study also confirms that it details how women in this region are at greater risk of violence and abuse as this environment is degraded.
Also, you have emphasized the importance of focusing on women, particularly in the context of your case study. What drove this decision? And more broadly, why do you believe it is crucial to incorporate gender sensitive planning into your approaches to various issues?
Yes. Environmental activist Vandana Shiva wrote in her book that we are either going to have a future where women lead the way to make peace with art, or we are not going to have a human future at all. So, yeah, that's it. We cannot think of planning without excluding the knowledge and understanding of half of the population. As mothers, they know that their bodies provide the first environment for a child and that they will be primarily responsible for the nourishment, safety, and the well being of the children. So, naturally, they're more sensitive to the importance of clean air, soil, and water. So, therefore, including women in a gender sensitive planning actually will no doubt provide a huge insight for, let's say, building a resilient future.
Now, let's tackle a crucial challenge bridging the gap between academia and the broader community. How can we foster meaningful connections and collaboration to translate academic insights into real world impact?
That's a difficult question. I think all the uh, connection and collaboration, it needs a meaningful story with a narrative structure that engages communities and helps them connect to the matter on a personal level. Um, and it is often hard to extract that from academic research. So, while telling a story by organizing these community engagement events, um, highlighting the human impact of the research can involve people and communities more than the technical explanations. But to translate these academic insights into real world impact, academic institutions must need to collaborate with all different kinds of practitioners that are related to the research, and also with community organizations, government agencies, and also the nonprofit groups. Learn from them and vice versa. And maybe this collaboration can lead to more success during community engagement events, initiate topics and discussions, and the point of departure should always come from the results of these collaborations.
Thank you for being with us today, Sumaita.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I hope that has provided some insights about the idea of ecofeminism, and I look forward to staying in touch and continuing the conversation in the future.
Thank you very much.
Urbinary.
And for our listeners, stay tuned for our next episode with Iona Katsi-Constantino. In the next episode, we are dealing with Iona as she explores the post-wildfire planning process in North Avia, Greece, shedding light on forest and land reappropriation and the socio-economic transformation affecting local communities. Urbinary is produced in collaboration with Polyradio, the official radio channel at Politecnico di Milano.
Urbinary, the podcast cataloging the everyday and extraordinary in the city.